So it's a Thursday. The rain's held off. The sun keeps poking its face up from behind clouds, but I don't think we're going to get away with no rain today. But the garden is looking a little bit overgrown at the moment. It really could do with a decent weed, and the grass needs cutting, but that's not my job, that's Ian's. He elected himself chief grass cutter, so I'm not allowed to cut the grass. Anyway, he's working again today, back over at Indigo Blue. Me and the boys have been out this morning already while it was still fine. Now that I'm back, I've got quite a few website orders to deal with and process today. I need to get them done and in the post either today or tomorrow morning before Ian goes off to his Fantasy Forest festival down in Cheltenham, because otherwise it won't be, it'll be Monday until I can actually get them posted again, because I don't have access to the car. And yes, I appreciate I can just walk down to the post office, but I'd have to take the dogs with me, and I don't like taking the dogs into the post office. Mainly because while I'm at the counter, you know, who knows what they're doing. So anyway, that's Thursday. Hopefully if I can get all the website stuff done, I can then sit and plan what I need to do for the rest of the week. Mission Inspiration, mid-month mini Mission Inspiration is coming up on Saturday. I kind of know what I want to do with that, so I want to do a few test plays with the materials first of all, and then I also want to sit and try and design some new product, so some new stencils and some new 3D mixed media stuff, but more on that later. So I'm just doing myself some lunch, some new barbecue brisket. Selected British beef brisket, oak smoked and cooked in a barbecue seasoning. I'm new. It's lovely. I've had it before. I got some last week. It's delicious, but I tell you who else likes it as well. Yeah, what do you think? Go on then. Blop, 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 blop. Gone down in one. Eh? Don't tell your other brother. Spoiled little puppy. So it's Friday. It's just me and the boys again today. Ian's disappeared off for the weekend. He's gone to his Fantasy Forest festival down in Cheltenham. So the weather's not looking too good. We've got storms forecast, so let's see what happens. While I was working at Indigo Blue yesterday, I sent him off in the morning carrying a little USB stick with some new laser cut designs on there. I'm already thinking ahead to 2024. I know. And also there's some more stencil designs that were on there that I wanted him to prototype. But I've been thinking more about some art shapes for journals and mixed media projects, that kind of stuff, done in greyboard. I've already released one set of figurative silhouettes, 3 male, 3 female shapes, called Guys and Dolls, which I'll put a little picture on the screen here now. So they're available now on the website. They've already been released. Haven't done a project with them yet, but I will do, don't worry. But I've sent him off with some more to do. And I wanted to try these out in greyboard, which is softer than MDF or the Medite, but not as thick as Tim's thick board, the brown stuff that he does the etc. tags and that kind of stuff in. This is thinner, just so this is the sort of stuff that companies like Dusty Attic, and I think Dina Wakeley also does some figurative shapes, silhouette kind of shapes in this stuff as well. But it's the kind of grey board that that we use for journal covers. So, and it comes in like 2mm, which is 2000 micron, or 3mm, 3000 micron thicknesses. And I wanted to see what it would be like to cut some shapes out for journals and mixed media projects. So I've sent him off with a load of designs. Anyway, so he cut them and brought them back last night, and I've got them here. So I will show you them. So let me turn over to my overhead camera and I'll show you and talk you through the new designs and what I think will work and what won't. Okay, so this is the first design. So obviously umbrella men. So these are just in a carrier shape. I mean, they do just pop out very easily. They've got tabs in, but I think to make it, they fall out very easily, look. So to make it more cost effective, I think I would sell these as two separates, not in the carrier sheet, and maybe put 2 or 3 in a pack. I'm not really sure. These are about 6 inches, yeah, about 6 inches in height. So those are the umbrella element. Yeah, you do get a little bit of soot on the edges, but you know, it just wipes off with a damp cloth anyway. Umbrella men. So that's one design that I tested out. I kind of like that. Might use that in a project at the weekend on Saturday. Who knows? Next one is a Halloween one, which is this spider's web. This one isn't going to work. The spider's web's okay, but it's the spiders. I did 3 different sizes of spider. I did a 1 inch, 1.5 inch and a 2-inch spider, but the 2-inch spider is the only one that works, mainly because when you get the intricate thin lines on the legs, the laser burns and it ends up just kind of like destroying the actual leg itself. So there is no actual leg there. It's actually gone. It's burnt away. So I don't think that design is going to make it. Although I do like the spider's web, but you know, a spider's web is a spider's web. So that probably won't make the cut. And then we have some what I call my Matisse figures. So these are a set of 6 kind of female, kind of abstract-y, figurative, decorative little figures, but these are smaller. So that one is about 4 inches, that one's about 4 inches. So they're roughly between 3 and 4 inches across. But I think these could do with being bigger. So I don't know whether or not to do 2 sheets of 3. I'm not really sure, but they're kind of cool. And the good thing about doing these in the carrier sheet is that you can actually paint the carrier sheet and colour the carrier sheet and then just pop them out if you didn't want to paint them individually. So yes, so Matisse figures is that one. So we've got umbrella men. Don't think the spider's web's going to cut the mustard, but definitely I think those Matisse figures will do. A nice little steampunk cluster. So there's 2 of those on the carrier sheet. Again, for safety, I think these will be better being posted in the carrier sheet, because if I posted those chains not in the carrier sheet, they probably wouldn't survive. So I think they're better off being sent in that carrier sheet. And it plays havoc with your eyes, actually, that does. It's very 3D. So we've got those 2 kind of cog clusters. So there's those. So I think they're okay. I've got Skelly Bob, which I absolutely adore, plus all the individual bits. This one's all connected. So that's one solid skeleton. This one's just a bag of bones. But again, just pop out of the carrier sheet. Very easy. But then I did 2 skeletons. So these skeletons are, these Skelly Bobs are actually, I think from head to toe, are about 7 inches by 2.5. So they're fairly big. But again, they definitely need sending in the carrier sheet. But I don't know whether to do those as a set or just that as a set and that as a set. I don't know. I don't know whether to do the bag of bones or whether to just do the 2 skeletons, or because I don't think I can reduce the size of these without losing the detail and getting the same problems that I did with the spider. Because if you go too thin or too small, then these sections kind of like on the hands will kind of burn away. So yeah, not really sure yet about those. And the last one which is a definite yes, which is the crow on the skull. Yeah, so that one is a definite goer. But I don't know whether I'll sell that in the carrier sheet or not. Let me just see. One of them's better than the other. That one's better than the other one. So let me pop this one out of the sheet, and then you can see, because I can see pretty much where the carrier tabs are for this one. I mean, I can tell the machine where to put the tabs. So there we go. So I think, yeah, that painted white and then distressed, or with white embossing powder and then black embossing powder, or painted black, would look absolutely fantastic on an art journal page. And again, size of that is from beak to jaw, about 7 inches. So from head to bottom, yeah, about 7 inches by about 3.5. So we've got the skull and the crow. We've got the 2 sets of skelly bobs with the bag of bones, or the skeletons on their own. We've got the steampunk corners. We've got the Matisse figures, and we've got the I want to say Elephant Man, Umbrella Man. So there you go. So that is some possible new product. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Which ones of those do you love the most? And which ones do you definitely want to see? And which variation on the skeletons? Variation 1, which is the 2 skeletons, or variation 2, which is the skeleton and the bag of bones? Let me know. So it's Saturday morning, as you can see. It's raining. It's not heavy rain, it's just like showers, but it has been raining quite a lot over the last 2 days. So much so that Ian called me this morning and his fantasy forest event has been cancelled. So they're coming home. So he's coming home today. He should be back by lunchtime, or so he says. So it's just before lunchtime on Saturday. Ian phoned me about 10 minutes ago to say that he's about half an hour away, so he's on his way home for sure. I've had a chance this morning. I thought I might as well get in there while the house was still quiet, to do my Mission Inspiration art tag, my mid-month mini Mission Inspiration. Get that done. So the prompt for Saturday or for July is running around in circles. So anything to do with circles, basically. And I've wanted to try using some of the indigo blue glorious embossing glazes. Now these are big chunky embossing powders with glitter in, that when you melt they get some beautiful texture. So I wanted to have a go at playing with that, but also I wanted to try the technique of doing the embossing powder, and while it was still molten, pushing a stamp into it, a red rubber stamp. I don't think it works with photopolymer ones. They're not robust enough, and I don't think they're robust enough with the heat that's still going to be in the embossing powder. So I wouldn't try it with photopolymer, only try it with red rubber. Anyway, I did do the project, I did do the tag, and look at the shine. And look at the depth and detail. Even with the ones with the glitter, you can still see where I've pushed the stamping. I've stamped with it, but I've also pushed it into the embossing powder. I mean, look at that beautiful kind of texture that you get with that deep, ultra thick embossing enamel. It's gorgeous, and that's the gold one. There's loads in the indigo blue collection. There's greens and blues and purples and golds, and I think there's a silver one as well. All of which you can do this particular technique with. So I think lots of scope for more play to come. And look who's home.
Friday was a nightmare. Set off from here about 9 o'clock in the morning, went to do some jobs, got on the motorway at 10, and I didn't get there until 2. So that's 4 hours and 25 minutes or whatever. It's a long time. I got there and it was wet and it was raining, and I thought, we're going to have fun this weekend. Got my my pack with all my wristbands in and my plan and
Your
my
trader's
program.
pack.
Yeah, the weekend brochure for it. Got into through the gate, which was gate C, and it went like that up and down did the field, and they put these metal plates, metal roadway in, but the metal roadway was walking on its own with the traffic and the mud. So I got the car, so I got the car in, got sorted, saw Helen, got out the car and said to Helen, "This isn't happening." I said, "I can't trade in this." "Why?" I said, "The rain's blowing in, it's cold, it's windy, and I don't want to lose all my stock. Because if I lose all my stock, I've got nothing for Whitby next weekend."
So it was all wet and muddy.
Oh, and it was getting muddier and muddier and muddier. I got the car out just in time before they closed the field. So last night they cancelled it. So they told people to go home. And then today they sort of messed about. They say, "Well, we might open on Sunday if it's nice, if the weather's nice." Traders have travelled 3 hours to go home. They're not going to come back. Public have travelled 3 to 5 hours. They're not going to come back. So hopefully it will get cancelled completely and we'll get a refund. I mean, the guy that puts on is lovely and the team are super. And I feel so sorry for them. But he's got insurance. Use it. And hopefully we'll get our stand money back. But it's Whitby next weekend. So I have stock for next week and don't have to kill myself now.
So always a silver lining, you say?
There is. And it's come back to you and the puppies.
Yes.
So that's always nice. So I'm a bit tired because I've driven 2.5 hours, 2 3/4 hours to get home. So I'm a bit droopy. So
You've driven longer than that. If you set off at 8 o'clock.
I did 8 to 9, 9 to 10, 10 to 11, 3 hours. Sorry, 3 hours.
3.5 now.
3.5 hours, but better than 5 hours to get there.
Yeah. So you're going to go for a lie down?
I am, and hopefully I'll get a cuddle from the puppies, but I doubt it.
No, I think you will. Obviously something very interesting there this morning. Please don't try and tie me in knots.
Well, we're out and about on our walk as usual for an afternoon when I'm not working, and the park is completely empty. The reason for it being it's starting to rain again. Rain and more rain. What has happened to our summer, hot sunny summer July? Although fortunately we're not as hot as it is in Europe. I feel sorry for them at 40 degrees. 28 would be nice, just pop a bit over, but not too warm, thank you very much, because the children don't like it. I don't like it either. When we had the open day the other week at Indigo Blue, there was some cake left, and I found it today. So Alfie has this, turn it round so you can see you, Alfie. Alfie has bought some squirty cream. Squirty cream! Look at this. It's good for you because it's got milk in it. I think Ella's... Are you having any, Ella? Ella's been very good. She's not having any at all. It's just me and Tubby Alfie. We weren't Tubby before we started, but we'll definitely be Tubby when we finish. Right. Okay, so we're going to make a stamp from start to finish. So what do we do, Alfie?
So what do? We put some chalk on the rubber.
Why do we put chalk on the rubber, Alfie?
Because it helps the rubber run when it's hot and melting.
So it's chemistry.
Yes, helps it run.
Right.
So and then we take the back off.
Is it a sticky back?
Sticky back.
Okay, and over here.
On the board. So
And
there's
this
the board.
one is one of the Christmas ones. Ah. Yep. What's the board made of, Alfie?
So the board, I think, is made of what's that material phones used to be made of?
Bakelite.
Bakelite, there we go.
Ah. So we make a sandwich, do we?
We make a sandwich with that on that hot plate, which
Maybe you should wear your oven gloves.
should have worn my oven gloves for that, really.
And that's 350 degrees, is it, or nearest damn it?
350 degrees Fahrenheit. Pump that up with pressure. Show you the pressure in a minute. So that's 450 bar pressure.
So it's got to be so that squashes the rubber.
It squashes the rubber and cooks it.
So
And we set the timer.
4:57, and so we'll be back in 4 minutes and 51 seconds. 50 seconds, 49 seconds. Oh, hang on. Okay, so our time's up.
Time's up.
We let the pressure down.
Let's get this out.
That goes on top. It's red hot, of course, isn't it?
Red hot. Got my gloves on this time. Oh no!
Oh, nice.
Lord.
Oh, got some bubbles.
Oh.
Oh dear.
Right, we'll get it off.
Let's have a look. Oh, I see. Oh, yeah.
You can see there's a little bubble there.
Yeah.
Bubble there. Bubble there.
Yes, that's not what we want, is it?
Not what we want, but we can make use of it.
Yes, we can. And then these are one. When they're cool, they get a little bit lighter, don't they?
We do.
And then I'm over here. I'm assisting Alfie today. I'm his oppo, and I'm cutting them all out on this saw. And that's when they're cut out, and they're going what we call laminates. So that shows what the stamp is. Cute. And that's the stack of them. This is what we've still got to do, so I think we better press on. Press on, there's a joke there somewhere. Yeah, whatever. So yeah, that's how a stamp's made.
So it's Wednesday afternoon. I've taken Mum shopping this morning to one of our local shopping centres called Fox Valley. Had lunch when I got back with Ian, and now I'm just doing website orders. Strange thing this last week, all my physical website orders have all been from the UK. Not one to the US or further afield. Digital orders from digi-downloads and that kind of stuff, yeah, I've had quite a few of those from the US, Australia and places like that. But physical website orders, where I'm having to physically post, all been from the UK, which, you know, is very interesting. Usually it's a mix. It's usually, you know, like 50-50 international and 50% UK, but no, this entire week has all been UK ones, which, you know, makes it a lot easier to post because I don't have to fill out customs forms. I'd like to say a huge thank you to all of my angels, because without you, these videos would not be possible. And don't forget, you can access your exclusive angel-only content over on my website. There's a link in the description area below. Thank you.